Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I have posted any content on this channel. I am currently pregnant with baby number 2. So I thought this would be a great time to get back into the swing of YouTube life. Hit subscribe if you have not subscribed already, if that sounds interesting to you. Let's get into this video. So I am a second-time mother, and there's going to be a 5-year difference in between my current child and this baby. So a couple caveats to this video. Yes, I am a second-time mom. Yes, my registry is full of items that I have used before for the most part. And so there are things that I know work, and there are things that I know I want to have for sure. That being said, this is not at all a minimalist registry, simply because, to be honest, we didn't know if we were ever going to have a second child. And I am not a hoarder. If you know me at all, I do not save things. It drives me nuts. I get rid of things as soon as they're not useful to me anymore. So for that reason, we didn't save a lot of stuff from my first baby. So we are kind of starting over again from scratch. We did save the crib, so you will not hear me talk about a crib in this video, but I do think that's obviously necessary at some point to have. And then we also saved the changing table, which I don't think is a necessity for everyone. But I do talk about changing pads and stuff in this video, but that's because I already have the changing table that I saved. So those are the only 2 items that I saved from my previous pregnancy slash babyhood slash infant stage with my daughter. So I will not have those items on my registry. Everything else I talk about is stuff that I 100% believe in for first-time moms, second-time moms, whatever. The only difference is that this is not a minimalist registry because I don't have any of this stuff actually with me anymore. That being said, this registry is not full of crap, not full of like a bunch of fun stuff that it will just be extra bulk and waste. So I kind of wanted to put this video out there so you guys can see from a second-time mother perspective what actually you might need. And of course, everyone's needs are different and it's up to opinion, but for the most part, these are things that I really feel like are going to be super helpful. So first and foremost, I want to mention where I'm registered. I registered at Amazon, mostly because I shop religiously on Amazon all the freaking time. But also because they have a really good completion discount that you can take advantage of. You can get a certain percentage off of any items that were not purchased for you from your baby registry so that you can purchase them for yourself at a discount. Also, I think Amazon is one of the best places you can register at in general, because you also get a welcome box. You get the completion discount, and probably like 90% of your family and friends that you're gonna send this to already religiously shop on Amazon. So it's going to be probably your best way to get the most things checked off your baby registry without you having to buy them personally. I'll put a quick link down below for you to start a baby registry at Amazon if you haven't already. Then you can get a welcome box if you make a purchase of $10. So what I did was, once I filled out my registry, I went ahead and bought 1 box of diapers, and then they sent me the welcome baby box, or the Amazon baby box. It's essentially a box full of like a bunch of samples. I got a bunch of samples of diapers, some bottles, some pacifiers, some wipes. So like, it's actually quite a lot of stuff that can really get you going, especially if you're on a budget. So I highly, highly recommend Amazon registry. So first up, we have the stroller and car seat section. We do already have a car seat, so that's not on my registry right now. My mother-in-law bought us a car seat already, and we went with the Chicco Key Fit 30, I believe is what it is. The one that does not have all of the fireproofing chemicals on it. I've been doing a lot of reading about that. I will link some things about it down below if you're interested. But basically, we use Chicco with my daughter. I don't necessarily think one brand works better than others, if that makes sense. The only reason why I'm doing with Chicco is because I understand it, I know how to set it up, which is like half the problem these days, is learning the car seats and how to properly install them. So I already know how to do that with Chicco, with the Key Fit, and then my daughter now has a Next Fit Zip. So that's kind of why we wanted to keep within the Chicco family. I don't want to learn something else. And so on the registry, we have the Chicco Corso LE Modular Quick Fold Stroller. And this one is one that can fit the KeyFit 30 infant base into it. I just like the way this one looks. We had a pink one with my daughter. This one's black, sleek looking. It's got some of the leather detailing to it. I really like it. And the good thing about these is that obviously once they outgrow their infant seat, they can still use these strollers. I have the Munchkin Brica Baby Insight car mirror. I don't think a specific brand of car mirror matters here. Any kind of car mirror will be a good, especially if you're an anxious mother like me and you insist on having to see your baby or have the ability to see your baby anytime you need to while you're driving, especially when you're driving alone. And then I also have, this is something I didn't have with my first, and I really, really wish I did. This is a stroller phone holder. It's like this clip thing that you can stick your phone into on the stroller handle so that you don't have to take up the spaces on the stroller for like the cup holder spaces or whatever. So I'm really interested in this stroller phone holder. If you guys have ever tried one, let me know if they're worth it. This is one item that is new to me that I saw it and I was like, oh, that would make life easier if it actually works. So fingers crossed. Moving on to nursery furniture. I already touched on this at the beginning. I did not put crib on here because we already have one, but if you are looking to fill out your registry, I suggest you find a crib you like and put that on your registry. One thing that I think is really important to have for any mother is a bassinet of some kind of thing for your baby to sleep in that in your room and not in a separate room. The AAP, I think is what it is. They recommend that the baby stays, I think it's up to a year. I'll link that recommendation down below, in your room as just a way to really combat SIDS. You know, everyone can make their own choices relating to this, but if you do choose to have your baby in your room and you don't want to co-sleep like me, a bassinet is something you should have on your registry. The first time around we used a Fisher-Price Rock and Play, which for any of you OG moms out there, you know about the Rock and Play. It is like a reclined bassinet. It has since been recalled, so I don't really, you can't buy them anywhere, first of all, unless you buy them used. And I didn't really want to, I felt weird about using something that had been recalled, even though it worked fine for us the first time. So I want to go with something different. So I did a lot of research. I chose the mamaroo sleep bassinet because it can move. It's not super, super bulky. And I liked the mesh that went around the best out of some of the ones I was looking at. So I'm hoping that one will work for me. Let me know if you use that one, whether you liked it or disliked it. Next up, I have a glider. This is the Baby Relax Robin rocking recliner. I never had a glider with my first, and I really, that's one big regret I had the first time around, was not getting a rocker or a glider of some kind. We had this really old recliner in our living room that I would sometimes use, but I have to go all the way to the living room to do it, and then it was like waking the baby up because it was like in the living area and you had to turn lights on, and it's just, I really want something that can fit in our room because we have a pretty good sized master bedroom now in this new house. I wanted something that I could stick in there and then I can move around and put it in the baby's room when it's time for him to transition into his crib. Something that could easily be moved. That I can rock in for nighttime feedings especially. Next up, I have some of the Nested Bean Zen Sack weighted sleep sacks. The first time around with my daughter, we used sleep sacks like crazy. I will rave about them forever. We used the Halo sleep sacks. And I do have some of those that I already bought for this baby that I'm going to try to use with him. The thing about, you know, babies is that what worked with one baby might not necessarily work with another one. So it's always good to kind of have options in mind. When I saw this nested bean one though, it's not something I'd seen before with my daughter, and I was very intrigued. I think that this is something that could work better than the Halo sleep sack. It's more expensive because what it is a sleep sack essentially, but it's got this weighted little section with like beans right here, so that it kind of gives your baby some of that comfort from like a weighted blanket would for an adult. And that really intrigues me. So I put a couple on here to test out with this baby to see if they work better. If you guys have tried the nested bean, let me know how they compare to the Halo sleep sacks, because I love those. And if you don't want to pay the price for the nested bean sleep sacks, I suggest you definitely put some of the Halo ones on there because they're also just as good. Next up, I have the Baby Shusher, which is a sound machine. Essentially what I would suggest is you put some kind of sound machine on your registry. This is just one that I decided to put on mine because it had a lot of really great reviews, 10,000 to be exact, and it's got 4.5 stars. So I think that's a pretty good sign. And then lastly in this category, I have the Love to Dream Swaddle Up Transition Bag. This is the swaddle slash sleep sack kind of product that has the sleeves that can be zipped up, off or on, so your baby's hands can either be in or they can be out. My daughter insisted on being out like this all the time, but I put this on my registry because, again, you don't ever know what your baby's gonna need to sleep soundly. So I wanted to have options. So I just put one of those on there for now. All right, the feeding category. Right now, my daughter used Dr. Brown bottles religiously. Those are the only bottles she used. I breastfed for 3 months and then we had to stop because of acid reflux. So we had to do bottle feeding after that, and she did Dr. Brown's bottles exclusively. That being said, this is another one of those things where each baby is different. So just because my daughter took Dr. Brown's bottles does not mean that this baby will. So one bummer thing about the Amazon registry is that they don't have like a bottle sampler box, at least that I can find. What I did was I went to some of the brands I knew that I wanted to try, and I just added one bottle of each of those kinds in the smallest ounce allowance onto the registry. So that way I could have a few options when baby comes. So right now I have the Dr. Brown's wide neck baby bottle, 5 ounce. I have the Comotomo baby bottle in the 5 ounce. That one is also new to me, but I've heard really good things about it. And then I have the Nano Baby breast milk baby bottle, which is like shaped like a boob, and it's very interesting looking. This is also new to me, and I wanted to try one of those out too. So those are the 3 bottles I have on here. In terms of bottle cleaning products, I put this gray and white baby bottle drying rack with tray. I know Boone, the company Boone, makes some, and we had like the grass one with my daughter. But the thing I didn't like about that was that it kind of got gross. Like it like the little grass pieces are really close together, so like it's really hard to get in and clean that thing. This one, I really liked the look of it because there was a lot more space and there was a lot more vertical room than there was with the Boone drying rack. And this one also matches my kitchen better. So I'm really excited to try this one. And next I have a couple sets of bandana bibs, which for a boy, I love it when baby boys have bandana bibs. I think they look so adorable. So I put a couple different packs on here. If you're having a baby girl, they also have bandana bibs for girls, and they also look super, super cute. Highly recommend. All right, so for breastfeeding things, I do want to breastfeed with this baby as long as I possibly can. Hopefully he doesn't have the medical issues that my daughter had that made us have to stop. So a few things I have on my list for breastfeeding. I did already get through my insurance and Aeroflow a Medela breast pump. So I have that already. So some things besides that I added to my registry, I put in the Haakaa, which is something I did not have with my daughter. And I'm, again, very intrigued by this. It's like a manual breast pump, but you can use it while you're breastfeeding, I guess. So I have this set on here that has the actual breast pump and then also the Ladybug milk collector. So you can kind of try both ways. It's got a ton of great reviews. People rave about it all the time, so I'm really excited to try that one out. If you don't put the Haakaa on your registry, I suggest if you're gonna breastfeed that you put some kind of manual pump on your registry. There's lots of different kinds out there because sometimes you just need something that you can just have in your car in case of emergencies, because there's nothing worse than having your breasts full of milk and there's no way for you to relieve it. It hurts, it's super uncomfortable. Don't let yourself get in that situation. Some other things I have on here are the Lansinoh disposable nursing pads. I tried so many nursing pads with my daughter. These are the only ones that worked for me. So I'll be getting them again. And then I have just some Medela breast milk storage bags and some Milkies, which they're more storage bags, but it also comes with with a container that's vertical that you can lay flat your breast milk bags so that they store easier. I did not have that with my first, and I really regret not getting this because organization is key, right, for sanity. Diapering. So because of allergies, we could only really use Pampers. I tried to use a bunch of different kinds of diapers with my daughter. I tried to use things cheaper. Like we tried to use Loves one time, and the Loves broke her butt out big time. So we ended up just sticking with Pampers. So because of that, I'm just going to stick with Pampers with this baby too. I never had any issues with Pampers. So I have a couple different sizes here. There's a graphic I saw floating around the internet that shows you how many of each size you should get. But I think it depends on like your family history with like baby sizes when they're born. So just be aware of things like that when you're registering for different size diapers. I have the Summer Contour changing pad. I know they have all kinds of high-tech changing pads out there now, but I prefer to stick with just the basics. It's just a changing pad. I'm not really going to be using it for anything else. I don't need anything more expensive than $20. This one works super good. It's the one I use with my daughter. I have some changing pad covers that match the baby's room. I specifically put one on here that came in a pack of at least 2. This one comes with 3, but I suggest registering for more than 1 so you can have ones to switch out in case you need to wash the other ones. I have the Parker Baby Diaper Caddy, which is this is not something I had with my first, and it's because with my first we lived in a ranch style house, so it was not hard for me to go into her room to get the diapers and stuff. But now we have a 2-story house, and I'm definitely gonna want to have a caddy that I can keep down here with some diaper essentials in it. So that's why I put that one on my registry. So if you have a 2-story house, you might wanna do the same. Of course, to go with diapers, wipes. You're gonna need so many wipes. Register the crap out for some wipes. And then I put the Aquaphor Baby Healing Ointment. This is the only diaper rash cream that I feel like worked for my daughter specifically. Every baby is a little bit different, but Aquaphor in general is just like a great product. Like I use it a lot too. And the Aquaphor Baby line is just like very good. Highly suggest. For bathing items, I have the Aveeno Baby Daily Moisture Gentle Body Wash. You're gonna need some kind of body wash or something for your baby when you start bathing them. I love the Aveeno line. It's what I use with my daughter. It's very good for babies with sensitive skin, which my babies have sensitive skin. I have super sensitive skin. I have a lot of allergic reactions to all kinds of soaps and things, and Aveeno never causes me any reactions. So it's good for baby, it's good for me. Highly recommend. I put the Fisher Price 4-in-1 Sling and Seat tub. Any kind of baby tub will do. I don't think that these vary from style to style in terms of their functionality. They're just baby baths. So it's just kind of like, are you gonna bathe your baby in the sink? Get one of those sink inserts. If you're gonna do it in the bath, you can do something like this. There's like 100 options. Just some kind of thing to contain your baby in when you're gonna bathe them. I also put this set of bath towels and washcloths. I know there are some people that don't like baby towels in general. I highly disagree with that. I really depend on hooded baby towels, and I still use hooded towels to this day for my 5-year-old. They are super awesome. Babies get really cold when they come out. These towels that are specifically made for baby, not only do they have the hood so you can keep their bald head, because my babies are all bald, right? It keeps their bald head super warm, but also they're like really, really soft. They're softer than any towel I've used for myself. So I really, really believe in hooded baby towels. I think they're necessary. And then the last bathing item I had on here is not something I had with my first, but dang, I wish I had this. And I wish, I actually might buy this now because I still give my daughter baths, right? And being pregnant, it is so hard to freaking kneel on the ground, you know? So I put this bath kneeler and elbow rest because I'm getting too old for that, man. I'm getting too old to not have something like that. So I highly suggest that. In the health and baby care category, I have Philips Avent Soothy Snuggle pacifier holder, which is essentially a Wubbanub. If you're not familiar with Wubbanubs, it's like a stuffed animal that's sewn onto a pacifier. And they make these, several different companies make these now with their several different style of pacifiers. I love, 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 love these for my daughter. And if your kid doesn't take a pacifier, this obviously won't matter, but you never know what your baby's gonna want. So I suggest having something around I like these ones because the stuffed animal allows it, like if the pacifier falls out of their mouth, it doesn't fall to the ground. It doesn't fall out, so that like if you're sleeping at night, you don't have to keep getting up and put it back in. You don't have to reach in the car to try to put it back in. It sits right there on them. It falls out of their mouth, but the stuffed animal is sitting right there on their chest. So the pacifier is still within reach, so they can just find their way back to it on their own. And then it's probably a lot safer for everyone that way, especially if you're trying to drive in the car. Highly recommend those. I have the Breathe Easy kit by Frida Baby. It's just got some vapor wipes, vapor rub, vapor drops for when your baby inevitably gets a cold. My baby got sick like a million times. There's nothing you can do about it except for try to make him comfortable. And going along with that, I have the Nilmed Nespira and the Nose Frida by Frida Baby. They are both different kinds of nasal aspirators. I had both of these with my daughter. They both kind of serve the same purpose. I prefer the Nilmed Nespira over the Nose Frida, simply because the Nilmed Nespira is a bulb sucker and like an inhaler sucker thing. It has both functionalities to it. So you can use double the suction by using the bulb sucker while doing that, or you can just take it off and use the bulb sucker, but it's clear. So you can see how dirty it is and you can see if you're actually getting anything. The Nose Frida, it's more minimalistic than the Nilmed, but in my opinion, it's a little bit too simplistic, and it's not super comfortable to use for you or the baby. I put both on my list because I do like to have one for home and one for like in the diaper bag on the go. I would definitely put the Nose Frida one in on the go because I do want to use it less. For activity and gear, I have the Ergo Baby Omni 360 All Position Baby Carrier. My daughter hated being carried. I tried the like the wrap style carriers and this style carrier with her, and she hated them both. That being said, I really want to have one around in case this baby likes it. If not, I can sell it, it's fine. But I really just want to have all my options available. And of course, this is something where you could get it later. This is not something you need at first either. And then I had the Fisher-Price Sweet Snug-a-Puppy Swing. Again, it doesn't have to be this specific swing, but I highly suggest putting a swing or bouncer on your registry, because it is going to save your life to have something secure to put your baby in. Even if you just put them down, like, let alone the fact that it swings and like soothes them, just something to put your baby down in so that your hands can have a break. And then as far as clothing goes, this is not something I have a lot of on my registry. I have like a pack of onesies and then a pack of the nightgowns. I will say this in terms of sleeping, like pajamas for babies, I think, and I would highly recommend you get the nightgown style pajamas. Whether or not they're the tie ones or just the ones with the cinched bottoms, because there's nothing worse in the middle of the night than getting up super tired, groggy, wanting to go back to sleep, but you need to change your baby's diaper and your baby is wearing pajamas that are snapped. No, you do not want to snap pajamas in the middle of the night. You do not want to really zip pajamas in the middle of the night. Zippers are better than snaps, but the creme de la creme of baby pajamas is the nightgown style, because you just change the diaper, pull it back down, you're good to go. You're good to get out of there. And then just a few other random things I put on here. The Tiny Love Black and White Gym. It's just like a little play gym, and the reason why I like this specific one is because it has that high contrast black and white to it. Babies, can't see a lot of things. They can't make out a lot of things at first, but one thing they can observe, if you will, is black and white contrast, high contrast images. And this has a lot of things that are that black and white. So I thought that would be good. I have a DoorDash gift card, which is something I saw another mom put on her registry. And I thought, wow, that is genius, because we use DoorDash a lot anyways. And I can only imagine how much I'm not gonna wanna cook stuff when I have a newborn baby for the first few weeks. So a DoorDash gift card is something or whatever you have in your area, Grubhub, Uber Eats, whatever has the most options available in your area. I suggest putting that on there. And then of course, you don't want to leave out mom. So I put a couple things on here from Freedom Mom. I put the perennial medicated witch hazel healing foam and the upside down Perry bottle. Some of these things your hospital might give you, so you might want to check into that. But if you know your hospital's not going to provide you with these things, I highly suggest getting at least some witch hazel in like a water bottle that you can you know, kind of transform into a Perry bottle. So those are the items that are currently on my baby registry. Being a second time mom, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to use most of these things I put on my registry. Some things are dependent on the baby's personality, like I mentioned several times. I will have a lot of these products linked down below unless I didn't mention a specific one, in which case I will not have it linked. But if I mentioned a specific product that I recommend, then I will link that in the description box below for you. So yeah, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I'll be doing some more baby content. I'll probably do some home decor, Amazon find type videos. I'll be doing some beauty videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to be back, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.